struggle, the challenge, the victories, everything wrapped up in it to build that identity for yourself. And as we, I guess, kind of start to wrap up today, what's next on the bodybuilding stage for Diamond Decker?
Yeah. So I'll actually share a little story from my past competition season to kind of lead into that. This past year, I competed at the NPC Ben Weeders, which is a national natural show, to try to go for my IFBB Pro card. And unfortunately, I missed. I failed, in my opinion. That's how I felt at the time. I was told on the scorecard I was about a point off. You know, it happens. After the show, I won't lie, I was crazy disappointed. I was really upset with myself. I felt like I had failed not only me, but my coach, everybody who was looking up to me, watching me. I had so much support during prep. So I was feeling down. I was feeling rough after that. And it just so happened I'm taking some pictures, you know. I'm about 3 seconds away from being in tears because it's just a lot, you know. And this young girl comes up to me. She's probably high school age. And she was like, do you mind if I ask you some questions? I'm a high school student doing this project on bodybuilding, and I just loved your physique, and I would love to look like you someday. I kind of want to compete now too. And I was like, of course, you know. And we talked, chatted, whatever. I gave her my phone number. Like, if you ever need anything, let me know. And after that, it was as if all of those feelings of the feelings of failure just kind of melted away. I was like, I may not have achieved that pro card, that tunnel vision goal that I had set out for this season, but I had a different kind of win that was almost even more powerful, in my opinion. I felt like I became someone that I would have looked up to at that girl's age. That if I could be that for other women and other people, then I just won. It didn't matter what the scorecard said. It didn't matter what my placing was, like we had talked about. She didn't know what my placing was. She didn't know how close I was or not. She just saw somebody that she looked up to, and I could be that one day. If I could show another young girl what's possible for her, and to expand her mind and the possibilities of what she can achieve, then I've won. And that's kind of, I share all that because my goals for bodybuilding, obviously I would love to compete and like step on stage, you know, health permitting by the end of the year and go for that pro card again. But my overarching goals for the immediate and long-term future in the sport and in athletics as well is just to be that, I guess, inspiration for someone else, especially, like I said, young women like myself who were looking for someone to look up to and wanted to see someone else doing what I wanted to do, right? They say, if you can see it, you can achieve it, right? So if I can show what they can achieve, then there's no limit. I can do that too. I can do that and more.
Absolutely. And that's a really powerful thing to tie your identity into, because we talked a little bit about how we can't, it's a dangerous road to walk, tying our identity fully to these things that we may not have absolute control over. But that sort of identity you lay out there, you have absolute control over that. No matter what happens in life, you can always do that kind of work. Yeah. Even if you eventually get to a point in your life where you're like, you know what, I don't want to do bodybuilding anymore. Even if that day comes, you can still do that kind of work of building up, empowering women, inspiring them, helping them to see their own potential, see their own strength, their own power. That's something you can always play. It's what Alex Hormozi would call an infinite game. It's a game you could play for the rest of your life under any circumstance and continue to win. Yeah. And those are the best pursuits in life. I think of another quote from a guy named Simon Sinek that he says, people never remember what you do, but they always remember how you make them feel. And I think that's so powerful. And when I think about it in the context of my own life as well, like we always remember how people make us feel. That little girl will always remember how you made her feel that day. And contrarily, like if you had just brushed her off and said, "No, I'm not feeling great after that. You know, I don't want to do this right now." You could have said that, and she would have always remembered that. But because you took the time, you invested in her, you built her up and helped her see a higher level of potential in her own self. That is something that I guarantee will give her drive, whether she pursues bodybuilding or not.
Yeah.
It will give her drive. It'll give her discipline. It'll give her motivation for the rest of her life in some capacity. And knowing that we have the potential to influence others in that capacity is one of the most unbelievably powerful drivers we could ever tap into. And it's just been such an honor to have you on today, to have you here despite a very, very busy schedule this weekend. We're incredibly appreciative you took the time out to be here and do this with us, because this is going to impact a lot of people in that same capacity. So keep doing the work you're doing. It's awesome to see, awesome to watch, and awesome to learn from you. And I'm excited for when you step back on the stage to get that pro card, because here's the thing. Every failure writes a better story. Like you could fail 10 more times, and that time that you get it, which I have no doubts it's coming. People who are as driven and like disciplined as you are, and who have such a strong identity structure as you do, it's you just can't help but to win at some point, you know. And there's going to be failures along the way, but there's people in life who are just so driven they can't possibly fail, and you're one of those people. So it's an honor to have you here, honor to share your story. Anything else you want to share before we hop off here?
I just want to thank you guys. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. One, for having me, and two, for what you guys do. Again, coming across your page again after so many years, I've always looked up to you. I don't know if you knew that. I'll have to pull it up, but I have a picture of the two of us. I was in like middle school.
I think I remember that, actually.
Yeah, I have a picture of the two of us.
Was it during cancer?
Huh?
Was it when I had cancer?
It was, yeah. So you've actually like inspired me since I was young. So little full circle moment.
Well,
but
I appreciate that.
But I just want to thank you guys for what you do, because your platform is amazing, and the content that you guys spread and the positivity and the mindset is just next level. And I respect it and appreciate it so much. And I know a whole bunch of other people definitely do and will.